Hey there! Ready to tackle a tricky little part of English grammar? Today, we're digging into the future simple versus the future continuous. You know, they seem so similar, but getting them right can make your English sound way more natural. So, let's dive right in.
So, you know that moment you're not sure whether to say, I will call you or I will be calling you? I mean, they both point to the future, right? But that small change, that little be calling, actually shifts the meaning in a really important way. And that's exactly what we're going to clear up today.
Okay, so the biggest difference really just comes down to timing. The future simple is for a single action. Think of it like a dot on a timeline. In the future, boom, it happens. But the future continuous, that describes an action that's already going on. It's not a dot, it's a line.
First up, let's talk about the future simple. This is your workhorse, your go-to for talking about future facts and decisions you make on the spot. It's direct, it's clean, and you're going to use it all the time.
So basically, the future simple is for stuff that just happens as a single event. This covers a few key areas, like when you make a decision right in the moment, or when you're making a prediction, or even giving a promise.
And the best part? It is so easy to build. It's just your subject, the word will, and then the basic verb. That's it. No weird endings to memorize. I will go. She will study. They will arrive. See? Simple.
So let's look at its main gigs. You use will for predictions, kind of like a fortune teller might. For those in-the-moment decisions, like if your friend looks tired, you say, I will get you a coffee. And of course, for promises or just asking for a favor, will is exactly what you need.
All right, let's switch gears and check out the future continuous. This tense is all about adding more color and detail. It helps you describe actions that will be in progress for a while.
The key thing to remember here is that this tense describes what you will be doing at a specific point in the future. You're not just saying an event will happen, you're kind of jumping into a time machine and picturing yourself right in the middle of that action.
Now, the structure has a few more parts, but it's totally logical. You've got your subject, then will, then the verb be, and then your main verb with that ing ending. So it becomes, I will be running, she will be singing, they will be working.
Its main jobs are pretty cool. You use it for an action that's happening at a very specific future time, like at 9 a.m. tomorrow. It's also perfect for setting the scene before something else happens, when a longer action gets interrupted. And finally, you can use it to talk about a few different things happening all at the same time.
Okay, now for the fun part. Let's put them head to head. This is where you'll really see how just choosing a different tense can completely change what you're trying to say. It all comes down to context.
This little diagram shows it so well. See that long arrow? That's an action that's already in progress in the future. And that shorter arrow? That's another, shorter action that pops in and happens while the first one is still going on. It interrupts it.
Now let's see that in a sentence. If you say he will be sleeping when you get home, it means he's already asleep. The sleeping started before you walked in the door. But if you say he will sleep when you get home, it means he's waiting for you. You get home, and then he goes to sleep. See? The entire sequence of events changes.
Okay, here's another key difference. This diagram shows us parallel actions. So imagine a few different things, all happening at the exact same time in the future, all of them in progress together. So look at this example. When you say, we will be taking a different route and trying to find new attractions, it sounds like you're doing both at once. You know, you're driving while also looking around. The simple version, we will take and try, sounds more like a to-do list. First, we'll take the route, then second, we'll look for stuff. The continuous version just paints a much better picture of everything happening at once.
All right, now that you've got the main ideas down, let's go over a few pro tips. These will really help you nail this and avoid some super common mistakes.
I absolutely love this quote from teacher Ali Sullivan. Thinking of tenses as building blocks is just the perfect way to look at it. You just need to know which block to use and which spot to build a really strong, clear sentence.
So this is a big one. It's what I call the knowing zone. There are these verbs called stative verbs that don't really describe actions. They describe feelings or states of being. You know, verbs like love, want, or need. A good rule of thumb? These guys almost never use the continuous form. So you'd never say, he will be wanting a new computer. It just sounds weird. The correct, natural way is simple. He will want a new computer.
Okay, here's a mistake I hear a lot. It's easy to overuse the future continuous when you're just talking about a simple plan.
If you're just stating what's going to happen, like someone watching a movie this weekend, the future simple is cleaner. She will watch a movie. Using will be watching isn't totally wrong, but it can sound a little clunky if there's no other context about when or for how long.
And here's a quick grammar check. This one seems small, but it's so important. You have to remember that the future continuous always needs that ing on the main verb. It's will be playing, never will be play. Easy fix.
So we've gone through the rules, we've looked at the common mistakes, now it's time for you to actually put this into practice and make it stick. Here it is, your new 3-step checklist. From now on, anytime you're talking about the future, just run this little program in your head. First, look at the situation. What's happening? Second, ask yourself that one key question. Is this a single event or is it an ongoing action? And bam! Based on that answer, you'll know exactly which tense to grab.
And to leave you with one final thought, I'll ask you a question using our new tense. This time tomorrow, what will you be doing? Really think about it. I hope this helped clear things up. Talk to you next time.